What's goody, everyone? I hope y'all are having a fantastic day so far. Go ahead, pull up a chair. Let's have a little discussion. We all know that Battlefield 2042 has been probably one of the worst games to have launched in the past few years, and I'm not even talking about the game content-wise. I'm solely going based off of how it was handled behind the scenes. We've had studios shut down, people being booted from EA and possible bad blood, and now we're seeing that the overall future of the franchise is being put on life support and left to exist with the help of Motive Studios. I got an article directly from EA regarding the matter, but if you enjoy what you see today, be sure to sub to the channel. Let's go ahead and get right on with it. We start the article off with the following. When Battlefield 2042 launched, we promised to bring 4 seasons of content to the game, including new weapons, additional specialists, vehicles, and more. As our seasons continued, the feedback we received made it clear your appetite for more Battlefield 2042 remained strong. We took the opportunity to evolve the game to make it even better for you and continue to learn valuable lessons for our own developmental processes. Now, what I'm about to say is going to vary depending on who you ask, or who you are, I should say. But I don't think there was ever a single good season outside of Season 6. Hell, I would even say that Season 6 was the peak of 2042, and it looked like EA was starting to deliver a 2042 experience worth investing in. Season 7 hasn't really been my personal favorite, but I don't think it's as bad as what some may seem. I do think that the map is lackluster, the new weapons don't feel like it's worth the grind, but if you're getting enjoyment out of it, hey, that's good. Good for you. As far as the appetite for 2042 being strong, come on, EA, come on, you guys know better. I think my buddy Big Fry said it best, actually. We were mostly around just to see if EA would bail or make this worth investing into. A lot of the commentary channels, whoo boy, yeah, we're full. The article goes on to say this: while we've enjoyed and are proud of creating these seasons of additional content for Battlefield 2042, it is now necessary for us to turn from the present to the future. What this ultimately means is that Season 7 will serve as the final season for Battlefield 2042. After Season 7 concludes, we will continue to support the game with new in-game challenges, events, modes, and of course, ongoing maintenance. But we are moving away from delivering official seasons. We know this news may be disappointing. However, as we looked at what the future of the series required, it became clear it was time for us to shift our resources and focus to be fully dedicated to what comes next. So around a month or so after Season 7 launches, EA has decided to say, you know what, to hell with it. This isn't worth our time anymore. Time to move on to the next title. I don't know about y'all, but this is kind of giving me Halo Infinite vibes, right? For those that don't know, 343 officially ended seasons earlier this year and are doing short content updates called Operations instead. It's going to be very similar to what EA are doing with 2042 after Season 7 ends, and it hasn't helped Halo Infinite. I don't see it helping 2042 in the end. The only form of life I see there being once we start getting these small little updates is with Portal, but even then, Portal doesn't have that big of a resonance with 2042. I mean, unless you like going on bot servers and ranking everything up. There you go. Now, as far as them shifting focus to their next IP, there was something that came out in their earnings call saying that they don't even have a new Battlefield game in their 2025 fiscal year outlook. So we may not see anything pertaining to a new Battlefield until like 2026. But if this is what it's going to take for them to deliver on a Battlefield experience the fans want, so be it. We do not need this series pulling another fucking 2042. They can't afford it. We don't want it. Just focus on making a good Battlefield game. Skipping ahead a little bit, the article then follows up with this. To that end, Motive Studio, the talented developers known most recently for their work on the critically acclaimed remake of Dead Space and Star Wars Squadrons, are building a team focused on Battlefield at their studio. We're tremendously excited for Motive, as they are bringing their expertise with Frostbite and compelling storytelling to the fold, joining DICE, Criterion, and Ripple Effect in building a Battlefield universe across connected multiplayer experiences and single player. I want to put it out there that I played Dead Space maybe over a decade ago, around the time that it came out. I don't remember the game much, which is more than I can say about Star Wars Squadrons, which I've heard is a nice VR AR experience, but I'm not a Star Wars guy, so I wouldn't know if it was good or not. The Dead Space remake got some really good praise, and if I remember correctly, so did the Star Wars Squadrons game, so at least it's going into the hands of a competent studio with good rep. It just sucks that Marcus Letho isn't going to be directing the next Battlefield with Ridgeline Games, and considering that he was the co-creator of Halo, I had no doubt in my mind he would have created a Battlefield campaign that felt like an absolute classic. Whatever happened behind closed doors that caused him to leave, Only he knows, and maybe one day he'll tell us what happened, but I think it had a lot to do with the big wigs at EA being completely indecisive with the future of the franchise. That's pretty much everything the article says. They give some PR speak about how Battlefield's an extremely important series, and then it's signed off by GM of Battlefield, Brian Bede. I think it's about time to get my final thoughts on the situation, because while something like this was on the horizon, I mean, many of us saw it from a mile away, I thought it would have came closer to their next Battlefield release, you know? For my final thoughts, I don't think I've ever seen a franchise go from being in the VIP section with Call of Duty at one point in time to now scraping rock bottom consistently and being the ass end of every joke. It seems like every bit of news that comes out in the media about 2042 keeps crushing whatever soul, and I would argue optimism that anybody had left for this game. Is there any fun to be had with this game at the end of the day? Is it even worth the money? Kinda. I mean, if it goes on sale. I'm mostly invested into Portal because that's where I feel like there's a lot of fun to be had. And since the game is going to be going through a drought of content soon, I think it's going to be worth looking into. Funny enough, I would say that I've had more fun on Battlefield 4 than I have with 2042. And the only thing people ever play on Battlefield 4 now is Operation Locker 24/7. Probably because Battlefield 4 is just a better Battlefield experience through and through. All in all, if EA believes that involving motive will lead the franchise to a better direction, the only thing we can do is sit back and observe. But I want EA to know that this game's failure wasn't a lack of interest on our end, it was a complete lack of care on theirs. I hope the next Battlefield game encapsulates the feeling of what it was like to play Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, hell, even Bad Company 2 at this point. Give us the campaign, give us co-op campaign, give us a good multiplayer experience, and we'll give you our time and money. You fuck around with operators and a horrible live service experience, and we're gonna leave the game abandoned. This franchise literally has one more attempt to get it right, and if it doesn't, it's going to be shelved for either years on end or indefinitely. But now I turn the mic to you. Let me know down below what you think about 2042. And while you're down there, be sure to smash that like button and revive that sub button also YouTube can show you my content free of charge. If you feel like supporting the channel for as little as 99 cents a month, your name can be amongst those on the screen now. For those that have committed to the channel, thank you so much. Y'all are absolutely amazing. This is Sir Blackout signing off to pay my respects to 2042. Make sure y'all press F in the comments. Later.